and see what's going to happen. We start off to the top left-hand side. Our pink Protoss player, this is Zest. Up against the red Terran in the bottom right from Sidestone Gaming, GuMiho. Game 1 of this best of 5. As we kick this off, we look to see how it goes. Welcome to our grand finals, everybody. Hope you're all having a good time. Good to have you all with me today. Glad to have you on board. As we do kick this off, we get this going. We do see what's going to be happening very, very shortly. It's game 1 of the best of 5. I mean, PvT has sparked controversy, it's sparked discussion, debate across the world of StarCraft 2 lately. So we'll be seeing if there's going to be more of that caused in this now. As you do see Probe coming over. SCV taking a little bit of a nibble here to begin with. Probe going to fight back. So a little bit of early game worker action. As we get this going. Look to see what will be going down. Is Barracks going to be finishing up. Orbital Command on the way and a Reaper on the way out from GuMiho. Just getting this set up, getting this rolling. This is not live matches. Sorry, dude. Believe it or not, I was too ill to cast them live, so I cast them from replays. But you know what's great? Not a single person in the world knows the results, so you can, they basically kind of are live. So instead of just being a negative Nancy in the chat, how about we just enjoy the StarCraft, because it actually makes zero difference. Because it was literally played 2 days ago. I was only not cast live because I was feeling like shit. As you see Probe just patrolling around to the right-hand side. Just checking out on the right, seeing what's up. Going to be seeing a CV taking a little bit of damage. GuMiho and Zest do know the results. They don't, actually. I made them take the Forgetful Serum that was created recently. So they don't even know. They don't even know if they won or not yet. They're watching eagerly to see who would. Trust me. You do see the Reaper coming down to the bottom right-hand side. It's going to be seeing the factory about to finish up. The command center finishing shortly as well. I'm going to get this ready to roll. There's the Widow Mine going to be about to finish on the low ground. Marine's going to be able to pick up that Adept, as we are going to be seeing that falling. Stalker here from Zest coming down to the bottom right hand side. Dark Shrine starts up in the top left, and you know, just going to be seeing the Reaper here on the upper right, moving in towards the top. So Reaper moving across the top side of the map, and just going to be seeing the DTs. Has some potential. Stalker's going to recoil home, help shut this Reaper down. What's GuMiho going to go for here? I mean, his reactor about to finish up on the barracks. The factory about to have a tech lab on it as well. Another barracks here also going to be finished up in a moment or two. As you do see this Probe just setting up to come up to the top side. Reaper of GuMiho down to the bottom. You'll see Shank on the way. So GuMiho in general just setting up fairly aggressively. Wouldn't mind drop to begin with. See how successful this will be. But those DTs, I mean, there is not an engineering bay ready. So GuMiho is in a little bit of trouble if it comes to DTs at the moment. He's also not saving energy just yet. He's been dropping mules up until now. So that could also become a little bit costly for him here. As we get this set up and ready to go. There's that Reaper of GuMiho down at the bottom side at the moment. The medevac coming in through the top. Those two DTs warp in. They are just warping in from the pylon over on the right hand side. So here we go. Widowmine drop. First of the DT run by. Widowmines are going to hit first, if only by a couple of moments. Okay, well, DTs are going to get the first kills. Look at the Widowmines burrowing up in the mineral lines as GuMiho's just dropped mules as well, so he still doesn't have a scan. Widowmines get what? About 3 kills, 7 kills between them. And the DTs on the low ground just going wild. The DT on the high ground making his way through these supply depots. Another DT shows up, so the missile turret on the low ground will not come down. Does scan, one DT falls, but the other DT is going to be able to break through into the main base. The next scan not available for about 20 seconds. And there's no missile turret building up on this high ground either. And GuMiho's just going to type out GG. As Zest picks To the top right-hand side, upper map here, our pink Protoss player. This is Zest. And to the bottom left-hand side, our red Terran. Give it up for Mr. GuMiho. So getting to the best of 5. So for contact in the chat, spam from what he feels good, mans. Good to see. Hello, hello, hello. Hopefully everyone doing well. Having a good time so far. As we get this kicking off into game number 2. It's going to start off with a proxied barracks across the map. A proxied barracks that will not be seen by this initial probe. Walk straight past it. The Musaro in the chat says Zest 3-1. What are you guys thinking? What do you think for predictions on this series? Anyone feeling any particular score lines or anything? Let me know what you're feeling as we get this ready to go. Zest 3-0 says Misfit Shaman. Feeling the PvT balance. A little bit favored to Protoss here. Dagov Aina, Zest 3-1. So you see the Reaper going to build up in the main base, nothing too crazy. Just going to be seeing a Reaper. I mean, just means it just doesn't have to go all the way over here to hop in, right? Already has access to the main mineral line, which is quite nice. And can be quite annoying for Zest to then deal with if he doesn't go for an early unit because he isn't expecting to need it. Even though he does see the lack of a barracks back at home. SCV's sticking around, so it's going to be a proxied starport as a follow-up as well. So, proxied starport likely to come down here shortly as the Reaper comes in. We'll get the first probe. No adept just yet, so quite a while for this Reaper to deal damage. That's probe number 2. Going down, and the other couple of probes still being chased along as well. Reaper dealing some more damage. Grenade will drop. Pops the probe over to the side. It will also fall. Not bad at all. 3 kills in Reaper 1. Reaper 2 is about to pop out. About to have some fun. As you just see the Reaper popping some probes again. Stalker going to be able to come in, able to kill that Reaper off with the help of the Adept. The other Reaper on the low ground still moving around. The barracks is backed away. The starport on the way up. And the first Hellions coming out right now as well. So first few Hellions coming through. And just going to be seeing GuMiho coming down to the bottom left-hand side. So bring that Reaper back home. Kind of done for the moment. Stargate about halfway done in the second here. God damn it. I'm really sniffing it at the minute. Oh my god. Cloak starts up. But it is going to be a medevac as well, so maybe Cloak into Banshee. Medevac to then, medevac to drop the Hellions by, then into the Banshee, which will have Cloak as it pops, so maybe get something done. A Stargate from Zest. We'll start out by building a Phoenix, but only one Phoenix will not do a lot against those Hellions. If they're already in the main base, can maybe lift up one of them, but at the same time you kind of want to be chasing down the medevac, and it also means no Robo to deal with the Banshee follow-up either. Reaper comes towards, I like it, sees the units, and you know what, he's going to pull the units even further out of position. There's going to be like nothing in place to defend this. Like really, I mean, again, one Phoenix lift up is all there is, so you can stop some insta-kills on these probes. The probes, the Hellions can still get damage done. It's going to be 5 probes so far, or thereabouts, maybe 4 at the moment. Lifts up a couple, brings them back along. This Hellion back in the main base is still dealing damage as well, and some of those probes are really low. Oh my god, now he gets another kill. Couple Hellions dropping down as we're going to be seeing the Reaper coming forwards. Another Hellion getting some damage dealt as well here. Oh, probe's going to stack up. Hit the Stalker rather than the probes. Probably wouldn't have made much of a difference. All said and done, 16 probes went down. Oh my god. That's so much more damage than I thought this was. Am I crazy? That's crazy. That's a lot of workers. Hellion on the low ground obviously putting in some real work here. 7 kills on this one. Yeah, it's been a lot more than I thought. I didn't actually realize the 2 Hellions that went to the low ground did so much, I guess. Honestly, that was pretty serious, and that does put Zest into a bit of trouble. There's a Banshee now shows up, and even more damage being done as GuMiho comes straight in here. Oracle wasn't ready yet. Oracle does not want to revelate this first Banshee, though, because it's about to be out of energy anyways. It does mean he's got a revelation available for Banshee number 2. So GuMiho just going to lift off the starport and move away. This is now going to be 26 probes killed. That's a lot of damage, and GuMiho at this point has, what, a 10-worker lead? He's in a really good position as we're just going to be seeing Marines picking their way through these rocks. Tank's going to be sat here as well. I mean, he's very safe at home, so any sort of counterattack doesn't really have much potency. And so Zest will be in some trouble if it comes to trying to attack in once again. So you just see Stim and Combat Shield starting up, so GuMiho setting up into the bio follow-up now. Getting that ready to roll. So 4 Stalkers, a few Phoenix coming across him. He'll try and make something happen. Could maybe lift up the tanks and do something from there. A couple of Oracles actually will show up. Okay, maybe GuMiho isn't as safe as they thought. Cyclone and Marines from the low ground. As this Phoenix energy fails though, right, as the drops come down, the tanks will be able to fire once again. That'll help a lot against those Stalkers. Cyclone has gone down though. Nothing to really kill off that Oracle, but there is only, well, no Stalkers left at all. 1 death remaining here. SCVs will fight it. Oracle doesn't have the energy to really do anything else. The Phoenix lift up the tank, but it can just be repaired. That blink upgrade coming through a couple of gates in the main base. And those Phoenix coming forward, picking up some of these SCVs. And Zest just going to be gathering up just outside the natural. And as you see the Stim Combat Shields +1 attack, all of this continuing to come through now. Marine getting shut down. 4 more gates coming in from Zest as that blink gets chrono boosted. So bringing this up nice and quickly, getting that ready to go. Doing a pretty good job of this so far. I mean, the counterattack from Zest is nice. Doesn't kill too many SCVs though, so he's still not... He's still not in a great position when it comes to worker count. 42 probes to 41 SCVs. A few more Stalkers warping in right here. And the Dark Shrine just about halfway done. As a DSC concussive shells +1 attack. All of this getting ready to roll. You can see the Phoenix lifting up a Cyclone, some damage being dealt here. Marines pressing forwards. Phoenix going to be backing away up to the top side. A couple more Stalkers warping in too. Zest continuing to warp in a bunch of Stalkers so far. Again, Marauders and Marines continue to pop out as well, and you just have Zest moving around a little bit. Looking for opportunities with those Phoenix. Cyclone locks on, pushes the Stalkers back a little bit. Pylon going to take quite a lot of damage as well, but doesn't go down just yet because the Phoenix will save the day. Tank will get sieged at least, taking a lot of shots from the Stalkers, but the Marines are able to jump on top of this, and I mean, a warping coming in as well. Obviously, we talked about a lot of gateways from Zest. And that's kind of what we're seeing now, is Marines are still chasing a few Stalkers up to the top side. The Marauders will pull back and will be safe for the moment. And it's kind of a nice fight from GuMiho because he cleans out so much of Zest already. And of course, now he knows kind of aggression is kind of coming as well. GuMiho has a +1 attack upgrade in his favor too. That only helps him even further in terms of dealing with all of this. As we do see Stalkers coming down towards the front, getting ready to poke forwards here. Widowmine going to go off, but the blink away is good, of course. The Widowmine's pretty much negated, has to unburrow these and pull them back to safety. Otherwise, they're just going to get targeted down way too easily here. GuMiho just not feeling the need to build any bunkers or anything, feeling safe with just bio with Stim. And honestly, he really is as well. There's 1 upgrades, I mean, +1 armor is going to be done soon. It's going to be pretty awesome. As we are going to be seeing the Widowmine still being pressed in. Stalkers attack in the front, couple of Zealots joining in, and Widowmine gets picked off right there. And here we go, Widowmine connection. Ooh, hits the Zealot that's already dead, so not that big of a deal. There's a couple more Stalkers going down. We are just going to be seeing more Stalkers warping in again. A couple of Zealots along with it. Still trying to reinforce from that pylon. It's kind of a faraway pylon as well. It's taken a little while for these reinforcements to join the fight. Again, as time ticks by, GuMiho puts himself in a position. He's got 1 upgrades. That's going to be a big deal breaker. A couple of Widowmines. I mean, Stalkers are blinking to avoid those. The army was up in the main base. He's going to drop down to the low ground. interesting way of doing things. A DT shows up from Zest as well. Going to try and pull him back into this with a little bit of extra damage. Well, Widowmine's burrowing. I mean, Zest is making a hell of an effort out of this. Feels like GuMiho's had a weird few moments here. That missile turret going down has given opportunity for the DT to get a lot done. There was a scan, but apparently GuMiho didn't think he could take that DT down before now. That or he didn't realize it. So you see another SCV picked it off. I mean, trying to get that missile turret up. GuMiho just trying to get a few more reinforcements out here and running up. As we do see Zest still trying to press in. Oh, he's getting picked away at. Let's see, Marauder's pretty good against these Stalkers. SCV's pulled in as well to tank a little bit. So pushing through this, going to see, I mean, more and more of these Stalkers dropping. This is the power of the bios. It stims forwards. 6 Stalkers warping in the game, but it's really just not enough. And GuMiho has that army supply advantage again. I like this as well. He split himself up to the bottom right, so he can kind of come in from a bit of a different direction. Zest even pulling probes across the map as he begins to mine out, because he is really just completely all in. And he really does know it as well. Tries to put down a forward pylon, but I mean, that pylon's not going to do anything, because it's going to be slow warp-ins from that pylon anyways. GG from Zest, and GuMiho will tie us up 1-1 in the best of 3. We'll sort that out. It should be in the next few seconds when it's just early game. Now I'll just put you on someone else's cam. As we get this going. Early game for game number 3, though. Bottom right-hand side, our pink Protoss player is Zest. To the top left, our red Terran is GuMiho. And as we go into the 3rd game of the series, and it is an early probe. And there's a very typical second proxy gateway spot. So setting this up for the 2-gate opener. Getting this ready to roll. Pylon just setting up here. Gateway will place down. So 2 gates to begin with. Barracks dropping down a little bit out of positions, trying to play a couple of mind games, but that might have a negative effect for GuMiho here with the way that that gateway is going to be applying so much pressure early on, of course. So it'll be a little bit funky, perhaps. Could cause some complications, maybe. As we do see this probe just wandering around. The second gate coming up, right, guys. I'm just going to BRB open the door real quick before this aggression starts. Put you guys on the front here. BRB. So as you can see, the factory building on the low ground as well. Getting this set up to go. Well, the Stalker's on the way out. Reaper is from GuMiho coming down to the bottom right hand side. He's going to find the Zealot. I mean, this is the first time realizing there's going to be some sort of aggression coming across. The Stalker shows up as well. Factory's going to jump onto the tech lab over here, and it is a tech lab opening, so he builds a Cyclone pretty quick. Stalker going to be able to poke his way through the SCV on the front. And we are just going to be seeing... I mean, this is a cancel into another tech lab. Maybe try and get a Marauder up to help out. Stop on the low ground will cancel. I mean, that kind of makes sense. No way to keep that alive, but he is going to have a Cyclone. Should make this a little bit intriguing here. Again, there's tech lab taking quite a bit of damage, and just going to be seeing the Marauder on the way out. A couple Stalkers. So, pressing forwards, and we are just going to be seeing... Cyclone takes a lot of damage, just survives. Wow, that's a super low HP Cyclone. I mean, the Marauder on its way out on the low ground as well doesn't look as though it's going to be in too great of a spot here. As you see the couple Stalkers picking away at this tech lab. Bunker about to finish up on the high ground, and Factory will lift up as well. So Factory lifts up, and you're just going to see those few SCVs coming forwards. Being able to repair the Cyclone. The fact that Cyclone got into the base alive is pretty incredible. Factory taking some more shots. Cyclone locking on. Stalker taking some hits. And just going to be seeing the bunker filled with a couple of units here at the moment. SCVs coming in to repair the supply depot. And Zest still just pulling down to the bottom right. So all said and done, GuMiho kind of survives this. And I'm just surprised that the Cyclone... I mean, the Cyclone surviving is huge. Imagine he lost the Cyclone. This game probably just ends, because then there's no units. Crazy. Well, GuMiho sort of survives for the moment, and worker count is even, but of course he doesn't have an expansion. Why did he build on the low ground in the first place? He built on the low ground in the first place because he was just trying to mind game Zest a little bit, probably. Try and get in his head some little bits and pieces like this. As you see those Stalkers coming up through the middle of the map. A couple more Stalkers already set up here. A couple of racks setting up to command center building. It's a Banshee with Cloak on the way, so GuMiho will try and get some damage done. But there is a Robo this time. There is an Observer available. An Observer already popping out, coming out into the center of the map. Blink on the way as well, so getting that rolling. Chrono boosting it along here. Again, the Stalkers from Zest. Going back into the center. The Banshee down the right-hand side is going to be here in a sec. We'll be showing up to kill off a couple of these probes. So, Banshee comes in, cloaked up. Already first couple of probes getting picked off here, so some probes going down. And GuMiho is going to end up pulling the way up this right-hand side. Stim on the way as well in this barracks. Starport going to jump over to that reactor as the barracks goes back to the tech lab. And the Marauder also on the way out now. As there's a blink upgrade also chrono boosting from Zest. So all of this getting set up to go. This Banshee continues to run all the way up to this top side. And blink just over halfway done now as Zest patrolling around the top. Observer on the way up, and we do see Banshee just coming around. Little Banshee set up in the sky again. Stim and concussive shells on the way in. Couple of Marauders on the way out, and Zest still poking forward with a few Stalkers, trying to see what's going on. Cyclone taking a couple of shots, but is able to lock on and again put some damage onto the Stalkers as well, so some back and forth damage at the moment. A couple probes still gathering together, and the shield battery building up in the natural. Observer will siege up. Observer gets picked off. And Stim going to be done in a few moments' time. Nexus building up on this third base. Zest is still just, well, if you had a pylon here, you could warp in reinforcements. GuMiho's going to get pushing. He's going to pull the SCVs as well. He's just going to go for this. 3 racks, push across the map. Trying to win the game right here and now with Stimpack. Doesn't even have combat shields. Doesn't even have combat shields. He started combat shields up. I'm not sure if that's a worthwhile investment. Might be money spent, better spent elsewhere unless he really feels this attack's going to go on for an extended period of time. Let's here we go. GCD's units pressing forward. Pylon taking some damage. I mean, Stalker's pulling back a little bit. Probes are pulling in, but the SCVs in the front are just tanking so much of this. The Immortals are down. It's only really Blink Stalkers left. The first shield battery unpowered pretty quickly there. More shield batteries are coming up, but I'm not sure if the Stalkers are really going to be able to survive anyways. I mean, that pylon goes down, which means actually the shield batteries are going to be unpowered here. Oh no, he actually heals up the pylons. The pylon survives for a few more moments. Zest is hanging in on this just a little bit. Shield batteries are pretty much out of energy. We are going to be seeing a couple of observers hanging around. The Immortal pulls back a little bit too. Fire units from GuMiho pushing up the ramp. Scan gets rid of the observers. Don't really think that's necessary either, but well, at the end of the day, he's going to jump on this Immortal. He'll get rid of that, and it looks as though this is going to be a little bit too much from GuMiho. Zest just does not have the army supply he needs to hold on to this anymore. A few probes pulling in just will not do enough either. And this is going to be GG in the next couple of moments. Zest types out, and GuMiho will take the lead 2-1 in the best of 5. And 4 to the bottom right hand side. Needs to win 2 in a row. Our pink Protoss player, it's Zest. To the top left hand side, our red Terran, GuMiho, is on match point. So getting this rolling, getting this going. Seeing what's going to happen here. As you are going to be seeing the refinery on the way up. GuMiho getting this ready to roll as Maybe that gas first, we'll see. I mean, no SCV out of position to cause crazy barracks placements or anything along those lines. So the first barracks is going to drop down right away. Gateway on the way up in the front. And the probe of Zest also coming forwards out through the center of the map to the upper left-hand side. So probe coming in towards the upper left. Again, that barracks coming up to being about halfway done in the next few moments. Early game PvT. We've seen a few different openings here so far. This game, Zest will not go on the offensive. Will not get aggressive at all. So we'll just sort of sit back and chill. There's a probe turned away here. And Iraq's on the way up. All of this being established for the moment. Alright. Well, it is Cybercore before Nexus, so maybe Zest still has some sort of crazy plan under his up his sleeve or so. You see that Nexus dropping down and the pylon dropping in as well. Building this up here over in the main base, so getting that established. Command center coming through too. And yeah, overall pretty standard. It is just that Nexus a bit later than usual because he went Cybercore first. I'm intrigued to see if there's an early unit or so. Looks like probably a fast adept. And maybe, of course, on Port Alexander, a bit of a shorter map. Possibly to maybe try and delay that command center from building here a little while. Saw that way back earlier today with Zest versus Bunny. TNS versus GuMiho. It's just a very typical sort of thing to have happen. What's up, Teraptus? Coming in for Twitch Prime sub. Thank you so much for using your Twitch Prime on the channel. Love the support. Thank you so much. Glad you're enjoying. Thank you for supporting the stream today. I really do appreciate it. As you do see this Adept of Zest moving across the map. Let's see what it can get done. Command Center isn't quite finished yet. Should be able to get the first SCV even if the Adept here, but he actually turns for the Reaper. Turns for the Reaper, as you do see SCV does go down. Up on the main base, Zest's Adept is picking up some damage as well though. So yeah, actually does get the SCV on the low ground, is now going to be able to maybe do a bit more. Going to try and shade out, but the Adept is going to end up trapped. They still have to pull SCVs off the line, which is some mine time lost, which is a little bit of a pain. Starport going to drop down in the main base as well. Reaper does go down as the Stalker shows up. Cyclone lock on gets the kill before the recall comes through. That's some early game units lost here by Zest, and that maybe opens opportunities for GuMiho. As Zest with a probe across the map, looking to maybe be aggressive, but it's going to be intercepted by the Cyclone. Well, whatever the plan that was for Zest, that's been shut down right away there, and won't even come to fruition. Blink on the way in the main base. Another Stalker from Zest coming forwards as well. Is the energy given back when a recall is cancelled? No, because the recall isn't cancelled, it's just that unit doesn't get recalled. The recall still goes on all of those units that are in that area. It's just in this case, it's only one unit in the recall, right? So it wouldn't get... It's because it affects multiple units. It affects an area, so it gets... The energy gets spent when the recall gets cast. You don't recall on just the unit. You recall, like, for example, I don't know how to... I mean, like, if it's a warping, right, the warping is affecting the warping of the unit, so if it gets cancelled, you get your money back, right? Whereas if a recall, obviously you recall a certain area, the energy is used at that point, and the recall is in that area rather than on a specific unit. So one unit dying doesn't exactly cancel it, because it's not like the recall is on that unit, the unit was just in the area. I guess that's the way to explain it. Robo facility finishing up on the low ground. As you do see the Banshee and Cloak on the way as a follow-up to the Raven opening. So GuMiho, potentially, I mean, this looks like he's going to be aggressive again. Raven Banshee tank, it's a very powerful opening. It's a lot of units, it's a lot of power, it's a lot of damage. With Marines in the front, it can be very dangerous. And especially on Port Alexander, it's one of these maps where you can maybe bunker up this area as well, because it's low ground outside the front of the natural. Just waiting for this Cloak Banshee to start off. I mean, Cloak Banshees have been big for GuMiho throughout this series. Really big for him as a Forge dropping down into the main base. Just getting that Forge up and running. Meanwhile, Zest is just going up to 3 bases at the moment, actually. Stalkers with Blink on the map. They're going to be taking some control here, and pushing across towards the upper left-hand side. So these few Stalkers going to try and see what's going on, what's happening in game number 4. See if they can apply some pressure. One gets picked off here already. Banshee's going to be building up here in the next couple of moments and again getting this rolling. Engineering base just about halfway done then. I mean, upgrades will start from GuMiho. He has about 3rd CC2, so I was talking about the power of like a straight up kind of just Banshee tank marine push. Isn't going to happen if the first Banshee makes its appearance on the 3rd base. Of course, the Stalkers to recall already. Tell you what, there's observers out, but they're just not in position. Nor the Stalkers still. Because finally, there's the first one. This Banshee will go down. Gets one more probe as it goes, but that's already 13 kills. Not bad at all. Banshee number 2 lining itself up to hit the 3rd base very shortly. So already a good opening again with the Cloak Banshees from GuMiho. Able to get quite a bit done. I'm going to come into the 3rd base. The Stalkers are back on the map. This time there's no recall. We'll be able to warp in a few, but doesn't really have the gas for it actually. Walked in the High Templar. There's one Stalker warping in. There is an Observer here, but one Stalker obviously takes a while to pick their way through this. So this Banshee gets quite a bit of damage dealt and now pushing in towards the natural expansion. Well, Storm's still on the way up. +1 armor as well coming through too. 1-1 upgrades coming in from GuMiho, and I mean, maybe GuMiho just goes with 1-1 and stim and so on, right? He's actually going to move out to the 3rd base already here. Man, this is great damage from GuMiho though. 17 probes killed. One of the Banshees still alive, ready to maybe jump back in at a later point. It's obviously very frustrating to deal with. This army pushing through from GuMiho into the center. There's a few Stalkers here from Zest pulling back over to the right-hand side. And I'm just going to see those Stalkers blinking away nice and quickly. Another Zealot's going to be finishing up. Tank starting a siege. I mean, this is before Stim is done. Storm is about to be done, but the High Templar walk into Siege Tank Fire 2. 3 of the High Templar go down before Storm finishes. Now there's only 1 High Templar left with energy. That's a huge moment from GuMiho, I tell you that. Raven full of energy as well, has interference matrix. He can drop down on the rest of these High Templar maybe. Another tank showing up, a little bit of a slow push forwards. Raven's still in play. Gonna make this a real complicated little situation. Zest taking some damage on the 3rd base. High Templars are taking fire once again. I mean, that's a Storm that doesn't really do anything apart from the fact it was better than casting nothing at all because High Templar was about to die. Zealot's warping in. The next Storm again doesn't really hit on much. Interference matrixes not going to be used. It's mostly just auto turrets that drop down. It's going to be the Bio though is able to push through this, and Zest's army disappearing here. Zealots keep going down. A few more Zealots dropping as well, and that's GG. GuMiho takes down the tournament.